Kane and Lynch 2 Dog Days, the second attempt from IO Interactive to make a decent Kane and Lynch game. Does the sequel deliver, or is it somehow worse than the first game?
Lynch? Kane, welcome to Shanghai. Long fucking flight, huh? That's good to see you. Been a while.
The story starts with Lynch, who has a deal of a lifetime for Kane in the Chinese city of Shanghai. However, things go really bad for Kane and Lynch, and now the entire city is against them. The entire plot consists of you trying to escape Shanghai. The story definitely lacks that in-depth element that makes you care about the characters or the overall plot. The single-player campaign allows you to play with a friend via split screen or online co-op. The AI is not very helpful at all. Rarely do they help you kill the enemies, and sometimes you even know where he is. Enemies have a crazy good accuracy, and you will find yourself falling on the floor quite often. Sometimes the AI enemies will hide in cover for a long period of time. Bullets do not go through objects, and attempting to fight close combat will usually result in your death. Sneaking up on enemies will allow you to take them as hostage. You can either use it as a human shield, throw him, or execute him. The hostage system is kind of jerky, especially with the online multiplayer. But it's kinda cool to bust a cap in somebody's head. But that joy only lasts a couple seconds, and throughout most of the game you won't get many opportunities to do this. Even on lower difficulties, the game still provides a challenge, mainly because the cover system is broken. Somehow, even when you're hiding behind cover, you're still getting shot. Playing this game with a friend will make the game much more easier and more enjoyable.
Okay, so when we're done playing gangster, I want to go to my hotel. Yeah, sure.
The entire game will have you going from point A to point B, finding some bad guys, and repeating that concept over and over. You won't do anything else in this game except for that. You have no freedom to explore the maps, no items to collect, and just overall nothing to look forward to whenever you get to a new level. After a couple of levels, you'll be begging for something different, but that never happens in Kane and Lynch 2. While the controls are pretty solid, the hitboxes doesn't seem to be very accurate. Quite often it seemed that my shots were way off and somehow my enemies still died. The physics in this game is very awkward. Bodies fall in unusual positions, and object interaction seems to be way off sometimes. Usually such problems are not a big deal, but it's so easily noticeable they'll take from the overall experience. The campaign should last you 5 to 6 hours at the very most, and I highly doubt that you will want some more after beating this game once. The entire game plays like someone is following around with a camera. It's a pretty cool look that adds the extra touch of realism to the game. Shooting people in the head will pixelate their face, which makes the game look somewhat more violent. The only problem is when you sprint. The camera shakes so much that it's hard to tell what is going on. You almost feel like not sprinting at all just to avoid that annoyance. Our biggest complaint about Kane and Lynch is that the whole game has absolutely no music whatsoever. It's very easy to get bored with the game because there is no music. On top of that, the voice acting is horrible. The dialogue is undeveloped, and overall it doesn't help build up the story. And listening to Lynch's Tourette syndrome almost makes you want to put the game on mute.
Put down your gun! You hear me? Son of a bitch!
The Fragile Alliance multiplayer have you and a group of thieves working together in order to get a loot. Once the loot is collected, you can turn against your friends and try and get the loot all for yourself. Shooting your friends will mark you as a traitor so that others can try and kill you. Once all the loot is collected, you have to try and escape to a certain spot in the area. The guy with the most loot after 3 rounds wins. The multiplayer is entertaining for a little bit, but it's nothing you can get very deep into. Kane and Lynch 2 Dog Days lacks strong points in all departments. While the game has a unique look, it alone cannot possibly save the game from its horrible repetitive style, lack of background music, bad voice acting, bad story, and just overall bad execution in all departments. While the multiplayer is okay, it alone cannot possibly compensate for the $60 price tag. I would highly recommend that you pass on this game. Even renting it will be a waste of your time. Rewind Replay TV is giving Kane and Lynch 2 Dog Days at 49 out of 100.
Shit, Lynch! What was that? What the fuck was that? Fucking believe it!